Here's Kerrigan today.
Hi everyone. So we just wanted to show you Kerrigan. She's being herself today. I wanted to tell everybody that I'm getting out of here. I've got my owl purse. I'm putting my pacifier in there, and I have some play money. And somebody get my car seat because I can't walk. But I'm getting out of here. These not qualified.
Oh, rude.
There's no qualifications in this house. So I'm leaving. Somebody put my pacifier back in my mouth. Get it? Mom.
I don't know if you want
Mom.
this. I don't know if you want this, baby.
Mom. Here, let me get that for you. Be quiet.
Oh.
So make the video about your little outfit.
Spoiled.
Oh. You want?
Spoiled baby. She's like, it's crooked, Mom. What's wrong with you?
She's like, case in point. Anyways, we wanted to talk about Kerrigan and share with you guys the craziness of yesterday.
Yes. Because I had the idea to surprise her.
Okay, well, we have to start at the beginning because it all started at Michael's. Insert dream sequence.
Yeah. Andy and I had the idea at Michael's while she was in getting some stuff. And I was like, okay, you go home. She walks the dog all the time. She walks our dog because her dog has still not had his vaccinations.
And I like walking dogs because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
But so she walks our dog because she's older and she's had all her shots, so she's safe to go outside in strange areas. Like our apartment complex.
Yes.
So
the
I'm
suburbs.
Like, she's totally gonna walk the dog, you know, and she loves doing that. So I'm like, we're gonna get home, we're gonna find a big box because the doll that she was expecting to get for her birthday was a toddler doll. And there was some question as to whether the lady had sent it or not and a bunch of other issues. So I'm like, okay, this is perfect. We're gonna go home because I was gonna sell her this doll. And then I was like, you know, I'm just going to give it to her for her birthday because I bought this other doll and it didn't work out and whatever. So I'm like, we'll find a big box that the toddler would have fit in and we'll just put her in it. And while she's out walking the dog, we'll do that. We'll put everything together. And then we'll be like, oh, look what came in the mail, right? So tell them what you did to me.
I didn't know. In my defense, I had no idea that any of this was happening. They were plotting, and I had no idea. So I get to Lula, the dog, and I go downstairs, and she pees. And I've been having a problem with my knees, and she likes to pull because she's a puppy. So I'm like, I can't go for a walk. So I brought her back upstairs, and the door's locked. I'm like, what? So I knock on the door.
Meanwhile, I'm in here frantically trying to find everything that this baby originally came with because she's a prototype. I wanted all her paperwork, everything she came with because she's gone from her original owner to me, and I want it with all of her stuff. So I wanted her to have all of her stuff. And so I'm gathering everything frantically, and Andy's trying to get a piece of paper to write the address on and tape to tape the box back up. And so he's running around out here trying to find a Sharpie and crap, and I'm in the bedroom trying to find all the stuff that she comes with. And we hear this on the door, this knock, and I'm like, crap, you know? So Andy runs halfway over by the bedroom door, and tosses the tape roll at me.
I am picturing this you know, like James Bond style.
Oh, yeah.
Or Indiana Jones,
diving
through the door.
With the tape. Yeah.
Dives through the door at the last minute as it's closing with the tape.
So he's running around out here, and I'm running around the bedroom, and we hear the knock, and we both look at each other like, crap, you know? So he throws the tape, and I'm caught it, you know? And I shut the bedroom door. So she comes in, and what did you do?
Well, it was all weird, because I'm like...
You're so perceptive of the energy around you.
Yeah, it's so weird. And so I'm like, well, I'm just going to sit down. And then
yeah, so she sits right in the chair.
Next to the bedroom door, because I didn't know.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to, you know,
well, first I go and I knock on the door, and Andy's like, she needs to be alone. I'm like, what? She never wants to be alone. What do you mean she needs to be alone?
So
this is the woman that doesn't even bathe by herself.
He's so bad at this.
She never is alone.
So he comes in and he's like, she's in the chair. I'm like, what is she doing in the chair?
Oh my God.
She's going to hear everything, you know, because the tape gun makes that noise, you know, and I'm like, oh, God, we got to do something. So I come out, and I'm like, what's the matter, you know? And she's like, oh, my knees are hurting. I'm like, why don't you take a bath? And she's like, no, I just want to sit in the chair. And I'm like, I'm going to run you a bath. And she's like, no, I'm really fine. And I'm like, no, you're going to take a bath.
Dude, okay, so Andy goes and lights candles in the bathroom. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, so I go and I'm like, take a bath. And
Okay, but how long do you normally take a bath?
Like half an hour to 45
Dude, she
minutes.
falls asleep in the bathtub.
Yeah.
So this bath, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And I'm coming out and I'm looking at Andy like, is it clear? You know? And while she's in the bathtub, Andy was going to go down and get the mail, quote unquote, so he could bring this baby up, right? So he goes, I'm going to go get the mail, like loud enough for her to hear. And then he opens the door and shuts it. And he's still standing in the house, right? And he gives me the thumbs up, so I give him the thumbs up. And then like 2 seconds later, he comes back and he's like, oh, there's a package. And Andy's really bad at this. He's like, oh, there's a package. So she's still in the bathtub. This is like 5 minutes. So she starts getting out. And I'm like, crap, you know? So then she comes back to sit in the same chair. She's like, I'm just going to sit.
And Lexi's like, well, go sit in your room. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. And at this point, because this is not like what usually happens in this house. At this point, I'm thinking, they want me to leave. Like, they want me to leave the house. They either A, want some time alone, B, are irritated with me for something that I don't know about.
So then she starts getting like kind of suspicious and kind of, well, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on?
And I'm like, I think you should just go and sit in your bedroom and I'll bring you some ice for your knees or whatever. And she's like, but I really think I just want to sit in the chair. And I'm like, no, I think you really should sit in the bedroom. And she's like, but I want to sit in the chair. What's going on? Do you want me to leave? And the whole time I'm having to keep this poker face, you know? And meanwhile, Andy's in the back bedroom, in the back bathroom, our bathroom off the master bedroom. And he's taping the box in secret as far away in the house as you can get from Em so she doesn't hear the of the tape. And I'm having him write the address, the fake address for the fake shipped box in his handwriting so she doesn't recognize my handwriting. And I'm trying to keep her. It's like an episode of like Ozzie and Harriet or something because I can't. She keeps trying to get up. I'm like, no, go sit down. No, go sit down. Go sit down. She's like, what is going on?
I had zero idea, zero clue that they were surprising me at all. Like,
well, and at the end I was like, oh my God, you're gonna be happy to sit down.
What did you say? It was like Grandpa, like, you
yeah,
can't get Grandpa to sit down?
Yeah, you can't get Grandpa to sit. He's like off in the other room.
He's like, but I just want to watch my war shows.
Yeah, oh my gosh. It was so funny.
So then they bring the box in. And I had no idea because I was so confused. I thought, okay, well maybe that lady shipped the toddler. But it didn't feel like a toddler, like when I was feeling it. And then Andy's like, well, it looks like a baby. And I'm like, but I don't know. I've only known Andy for a year, so I don't know I'm bad at acting voice.
It's bad.
It looks like a baby. So then at this point, I'm thinking it has to be for Lexi because, like, she, you know, is the one that gets has babies. I didn't order a baby. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. So I'm like opening it. I'm confused, and then I see her, and I'm like,
what?
I was so surprised. Like nobody has ever got me like that.
I was gonna sell her to Ems, you know, because from the very beginning when I first got her, she's like, I love her so much. If you ever sell her, let me know. So we've sort of talked about it. And I bought this other baby for her birthday. And this is a beautiful baby, but I haven't done anything with her. And I think the reason is some stuff was going badly for me the day that I got her. And unfortunately that does sometimes affect the bond. So anyways, I couldn't ever really bond with her. And Ems bonded with her right away. So we talked, you know, casually about me selling her to Ems. And I was just sitting there at Michael's thinking, you know what? That other baby didn't work out. And she loves this baby. I'm screw selling her. I'm just going to give her, I'm not going to sell her to her. I'm going to give her to her for her birthday. So it was this little this little half-cocked plan that we cooked up outside of Michael's in the 5 minutes she was getting paid.
And I did everything to mess it up without realizing it. Like, the way they describe it is
minor camera malfunction. But
we're always running out of video.
The way we described it was what?
The way that they described it was that I was messing, like they had zero room to do this in this little apartment, and I'm messing it. I'm like coming out like, what are you doing? What's going on?
I just want to sit.
I'm going to sit. I'm very suspicious of you right now.
Well, it was weird because normally you take the dog for like a long walk. She likes to take the dog for a walk, and it's awesome because a lot of times I don't feel well, I'm too tired, whatever. So she'll go and do that, and she's gone for like a half hour. So I even said, because normally you're gone for a long time, I even said, just one time around.
Yeah, I was like,
just 15 minutes.
I was like, I'm going to take her down to the lake and do like 4 laps around the lake.
And I was like, no.
Yeah, and Andy was like, no, just do one. Just one lap around the lake and then come back. Just one.
So she doesn't do that, which fine, whatever, go take a bath, right? Because normally that's a half hour too. And I'm like, I'll have plenty of time, right? No, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Normally I have to go in the bathroom and wake her up because she fell asleep in the bathtub. This time she's like in, out. Like, I don't even know if your butt touched the bathtub. You're just in, out.
It did. I didn't even let it fill up all the way.
See?
Like, I only filled it up to cover my knees.
It was just very comical.
It was like... It kind of reminds me of like those old TV shows, like How This Happened, you know, like you see a bunch of doorways and people are chasing each other.
Scooby-Doo,
yeah. Like they go in one doorway and they come out the other, and there's like music of people going in and out of doorways.
It was just like this minor comedy of errors because everything was going wrong and everything was contrary to how it normally goes. And I'm trying to just keep it together, you know, I'm like 5 more minutes, you know, and I come in. And Andy'd been in there for like, I don't know, 5 minutes while you were in the tub trying to do the address and everything. And I'm like, what are you doing? Hurry up. You know? It was just ridiculous.
And I was like, well, if I'm going to have to sit in here in my room, can I read my book on the iPad? And you're like, yeah, whatever. I'll go get it. Yeah, let me go get it for you.
Like, just don't move. It was funny.
God. I should have, like, I've never been surprised before. Like, I should have... I had no reference for like people surprising me. I didn't know that. I had zero clue.
Well, the whole time you're like, I can just leave. If you want me to leave, I can just go.
There's a bookstore like right up this street.
It's not a big deal. I'm like, no, sit. It was great.
Anyways,
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you have her because I really think she was yours from the beginning.
She's hilarious. She's hilarious. She's a brat. I love her.
I got soaked enough snark into her before I handed her to you that now she's ripe with snark.
She's ripe with snark like a mushroom, you know? I love it.
Look at how fabulously coiffed the hair is today.
Yes, and it's completely dry, but it's coiffed.
It's very coiffed. She's like, I have something else to say.
She says... I was told we're leaving. I'm leaving. I've called a cab, actually.
Oh my goodness.
I've called a cab. Anyway,
Good luck with that
this
one.
outfit is perfect for her. This is actually Lexi's outfit for Jade, but it's like fits her personality.
It really does. It's very cute.
This is Kerrigan's personality. This
slightly cray. All right, this video is way long.
It's way long.
We just wanted to share that with you. It was very, very funny.
Anyways, I'm very blessed to have such a good friend who would surprise me like that.
Even when you're a total brat.
Yeah, and Andy too, because that's very endearing of him.
It was so funny because when you knocked on the door when you were supposed to take the dog for a walk,
yeah,
and he's like, "She's back." And he's like, "What do we do now?" I was like, "Chill out, I'll take care of it."
And then later on, after I found out that what the surprise was, Andy was like, "Yeah," I said. I didn't even go down to the mailbox. All I did was I stood there by the door and said, I'm going to the mailbox. Then I ate my Wendy's. And I'm like...
He's like, my chili was going to get cold. It was very funny. So that's how we roll around here. We're just absolutely nuts.
I love these people.
We love you back. All right, bye guys.
Bye.